how do you know if you're truly healthy? Well, it's a tough question to answer because everyone's unique and everyone's different with their health needs. But some of our basic measurements we've used in the past, like BMI, body mass index, really don't cut the bill at all. Neither do simplistic numbers like general cholesterol or anything like that. So a few years ago, researchers put together 6 different metrics that they lumped together, and they said if you passed all 6 of these, you'd be classified as metabolically flexible. That means that if you have a flexible metabolism, your body can adapt to different stressors, which really makes one healthy. Now, while I think some of these numbers still are a little bit too basic because they don't take into account things like biotoxin load, are you infected with parasites or Lyme disease, or have you had mold exposure, or you've got heavy metal toxicity or anything like that, and that needs to be addressed if you've got health issues. I do think this group of 6 metabolically flexible categories is a really good start, because if you can't pass all 6 of these, then you know that there's other major health issues going on. But if you can pass them, and then at least whatever health issues you have, they're not going to be as far advanced as others might have. So what makes one metabolically flexible? And sadly, only about 1 in 8 Americans would pass this at the time, and this was a few years ago, so it's probably worse. That means 12% of people. Everyone else would be classified as unhealthy with this. So number 1, you would have a waist circumference for men under 40 inches. That's 102 centimeters for those of us who still use metric. For women, that's a waist circumference under 34.5 inches or 88 centimeters. So already, if your waist circumference is bigger than that, you're already going to be classed as not metabolically flexible. Then we need to have a blood pressure under 120/80, and so both numbers need to be involved. I think this is a good measure to start with as well, because as soon as blood pressure is creeping up, it means there's inflammation and trouble somewhere. Our blood glucose under 100 milligrams per deciliter, I think this one's too high. We should be aiming for 70 to 80 milligrams per deciliter, but again, over 100, you know there's going to be trouble. Hey there, if you're struggling with gut health, I just wanted to let you know about my free Facebook gut health support group. You'll see it on the screen here. Just click the link and you can join that. We cover all sorts of more in-depth tips on what testing to do, how to deal with underlying biotoxins, things like that. So jump in the group. I'd love to have you in there. Anyway, back to the video. HbA1c needs to be under 5.7%. This is more of a long-term glucose measurement. We won't get into the technical details of it, but every single one of you, your family physician would measure this. It's cheap and it's easy to get. So we want to be under 5.7. Triglycerides need to be under 150 milligrams per deciliter. Again, I think this number's a little high. If you're at 148, I would say you're flirting with danger a little bit, just because triglycerides, it is a good measure to show if you've got too much of the bad fats floating around the body. But I am glad they're not talking just general cholesterol, because that number does not mean a thing when it comes to health really on its own. And then the 6th number is HDL cholesterol. Again, a little bit simple, because we have the so-called good and bad cholesterol, but we now know that the LDL, the bad, isn't as bad as we thought, and you've got to break it down even further. But HDL cholesterol should be above 40 milligrams per deciliter for men and 50 for women. So if you pass all 6 of those, then congratulations, you're considered metabolically flexible and you're in the top 12%, for at least if you're American, in terms of healthy people. Again, I don't think it tells the whole story, but it's a great start. So if you're not, you have something to work on. So we've got to get that waist circumference under 40 inches for men, under 34.6 for women. BP or blood pressure under 120/80, glucose under 100, but try and get it down into the 70s or low 80s. HbA1c under 5.7%, triglycerides get them well under 150, and HDL cholesterol above 40 for men, above 50 for women. And that's all there is to it. And if you don't qualify and you're not sure where to even start to change those numbers, then either watch some of my other videos where we talk about how to improve gut health and overall health, or send me a message and let's book a discovery call and dive in a little deeper to your health history and work out where the holes are so we can plug those up and help get you back to a normal, healthy life.